Be a leader. Yeah.
Oh.
I ask so little of you. Thank you.
Data has shown that when playing the sport of paintball, if all the rules are followed, paintball can be safer than playing bowling. Now, what I would have loved to bring to you guys today would be an actual paintball marker, or also referred to as a paintball gun. However, for safety reasons, I did not bring one. Instead, I brought you guys a pretty picture of that, which is, here I have a Tipman 98 Custom. It's highly known in the paintball culture. What I want you guys to get out of this today is to know more about paintball, to know that it's not just a sport where you just shoot people for fun. I will be talking about the history of the marker and the sport, and also talking about how I identify myself to the culture. Now, the first paintball marker was introduced in 1970 for forestry and agriculture. In forestry, it was used to label trees that would be cut down to create roads. In agriculture, it was used to label cattle. However, now it is used in law enforcement, military training, riot response, and non-lethal suppression. Paintball the sport began with a group of 12 men, where the 12 men split into 2 teams, 6 in each team. You would go from one side to the other, and they would play capture the flag, also known as CTF. Capture the flag is when you capture, you put a flag in the middle of the arena, you capture the flag, and you have to put it on the opposite side of where you started. Now, about the marker. Without a marker or a paintball gun, there is no sport. You don't have a sport. It is an essential tool. However, the marker also helps identify a player. When you see a paintball player and you see their marker, if you see that there is no mods on the marker, then you could tell straight away that it is a player who just started playing. Now, what a mod is an upgrade that allows your gun to perform at a higher level. More professionals would add upgrades such as an electronic hopper. This is a gravity fed hopper. So gravity fed hopper is where the paintballs are fed into the paintball through gravity. An electronic hopper is manually being inserted. Now, what this causes is in the gun, it prevents anti-chopping. It's an anti-chopping technology, which allows the gun to be shooting the paintball without it being chopped inside the marker. So when you're playing, it won't affect your shooting. Now, the sport itself helps create combat scenarios. That's why it's used in military training. But it also helps create confidence. Now, it helps create confidence because when you're shooting, you're shooting not blind fire. You're shooting to make sure that every shot counts. Now, why do I identify myself as part of this paintball culture? I identify myself as part of the paintball culture because the first day that I played, first of all, I started off being scared of the sport. I was afraid because I was afraid that if I got shot, it would hurt a lot and I would cry. Or I was afraid that I would be bruised up, and then they would ask me in school, why are you all bruised up? So I was afraid also because my friends would come with bruises. But then I noticed that they were playing the sport wrong. They were playing in their backyard, they weren't playing in a field. Now, there are rules to the sport. When you're coming up 5 feet, you can't just shoot them. You have to yell out, surrender. If they choose to not surrender and they start fighting, you could shoot them as much as you want till they get out of the arena. Now, when I decided to go into a paintball field with the friends who weren't playing properly, I found out that I fell in love with the sport. The moment the referee whistled, blew the whistle, and I saw all the paintball firing at me from right to left and running for cover, I loved the adrenaline rush. I love the feel that you get when you get into cover or when you call out for positions of the enemy. That to me is rewarding. Now, I have talked about the history of paintball and how I identify myself part of this culture. And what I would like to suggest is for those who like the adrenaline rush, for those who feel that you guys want to feel the combat scenario, to go out and play paintball.